We are on JDD in Krakow, and my guest is Ralph Johnson. Hello, Ralph.
Hello.
Ralph, could you please tell us, could you please introduce yourself to anyone who doesn't know you yet?
Okay, so I'm here because I'm one of the 4 authors of the book Design Patterns, and so I was speaking about that book. Now that book is 21 years old, so that was the title of my talk was 21 Years of Design Patterns. It's been pretty influential, and I was sort of talking about the results of the book, what's happened since then. And there's a certain amount of criticism. People always think that's amusing that someone criticizes their own book. But the purpose of the book was to try to document things that advanced developers were doing. It's a catalog of techniques. There's 23 different patterns, 23 different techniques. And we didn't invent any of them, so we weren't like telling people our way of developing software or you ought to develop software. It's just this is what people do. That was what it was supposed to be. Well, people have changed how they've developed software, so things have changed. And to a certain degree, we understand things better. So in fact, most of those techniques are still widely used. So it was we did a good job of picking things that were important and hadn't been written about before.
So maybe it's time for another book.
Well, there have been a lot of books. A lot of different people have written books, and we have always planned to make a second edition, but we just, it's always so many things to do, and going around giving talks like this is a way I encourage myself to keep working on it.
All right. I know that you have retired from the university.
Yeah, so I was at the University of Illinois. I started in '85. So I have been I've done lots of consulting over the years and working with companies of various sorts, but I had always wanted to start a company. It's something that computer people talk a lot about, and I got involved with the company and I actually took a leave of absence to go work on the company, and I got a letter from the Illinois State University retirement system saying you can retire now. So talking it over with my wife, we decided, okay, that's a good thing to do. So and it was nice because I had a bunch of PhD students, and often when a professor retires, the PhD students have to go find somebody new. Yeah. But I was still living in town. I would go into the university once or twice a week and talk to the students. I worked at home, and that's the question of being retired. I spend most of my time on the computer, and I'm doing a lot of programming, but I'm doing it at home. So my wife sees me a lot more than she used to see me, and people who don't know what I'm doing say, "Oh, he's just retired. He's not doing anything." But I'm working pretty hard.
Happy life right
now.
I'm
pretty happy. One of the things you often see when people are computer science professors, as before that they were graduate students, they usually did a lot of programming. When they become professors, they often get busy with academic things and don't do much programming anymore. Yeah, exactly. Well, I had intended to keep programming, and for the first half of my time at the university I did a lot of programming, but gradually I did less and less, and maybe 15 years ago I was realizing I really wasn't doing too much programming anymore, and that was a part of life that was not as good as it could have been. So when this whole project came along, and I started working with them 5 or 6 years ago before I retired, part of that was this was a way for me to get back into programming on my own projects, not helping students with their projects, but to do my own. And I've been pretty happy. Retired from the university, but not really retired because I got this whole new, not developing stuff. Yeah, and I'm really back to developing stuff again.
That's really nice to hear that. You travel a lot, and it's your first time here in Poland. How do you like JDD, basically? Oh,
I've had a good time here, and I've enjoyed Krakow. I didn't really know much about Krakow before, and I had a good tour the first day I was here, and we went to salt mines a couple days ago. So I've been seeing the sights. It's a beautiful city, and I've enjoyed the conference. Enjoyed talking to people and listening to talks.
And if you were to compare JDD to other Java conferences that you attended in your life, what would you say? What's the difference?
The conference, I haven't gone to a lot of pure Java conferences. So UPSLA was a big object-oriented conference in all different kind of languages, and there's a lot of academics in it. Actually, now it's mostly an academic conference. In the early days, it was maybe a third academic and 2/3 people from industry. And it was big. It was, at its peak, it was several thousand people. So, and it was, this was the earlier days of object-oriented programming. It was never specific. I never went to Java 1, the really big, never been to. I've had sent students to like the Eclipse conference, but I haven't ever been. I've been to YAO, which it means Java and object-oriented, and then it's Danish, so the Danes just pronounce it exactly as if they had that word J-A-O-O in their language, and if they did, they'd call it Yao, and so that's how they say it. It's Yao is the name of the conference. So I went to that, and it was a good conference, but this is a good conference too. I mean, going there's all those Danes, and over here there's all these Poles. It's a different, yeah.
How would you rate the level of our lectures?
Well, the ones I've gone to were pretty good. Of course, half of them are in Polish, so I can't tell you about them, but the ones I went to in English I liked a lot.
And so what's the next conference that we'll be able to see you?
Okay, so there's one in Germany. I think it's in Munich. It's I can't remember what its name is, but yeah, and it is an object. It's probably a Java-oriented, but it's definitely an object-oriented conference. And it's not this year. It's going to be in February. So that's the only one that's on my schedule at the moment.
And you're going to speak there?
I'm going to speak there, yeah.
Good luck with the conference, and see you hopefully soon.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.